On this video, we're going to talk about the best lead sources to get you the most amount of leads that turn into the most amount of deals if you're looking to fix and flip or buy and rent. The most difficult part about flipping houses or buying houses to rent in this market or any market is getting the deal. And he or she that controls the deals basically controls the market and can make all the money. So in this video, we're going to talk about all the different ways and all the different major lead sources that you can do both inbound and outbound to bring in the most amount of leads possible, get the most amount of deals possible. All right, so we're talking lead sources. Number one lead source, in no particular order, is PPC. So PPC is pay-per-click. It could be with Bing, it could be with Google. So essentially what you're doing is you are being a sponsored ad at the top when somebody searches sell my house fast for cash, sell my house Long Island, whatever it is. And obviously different keywords cost different amounts of money and then convert ultimately into leads. So really, really great. The thing about this is, and really with all the different lead sources that we're gonna go over, it's you gotta spend time and you gotta spend money. So when I mean time, you have to spend time really researching and diving into the analytics or pay a company that is gonna do it for you. You have to really understand exactly what are the keywords that are hitting, which keywords are more likely to turn into leads that are gonna end up turning into deals. Because if you're getting a ton of leads and those leads aren't turning into deals, you're spending a lot of money on clicks and it doesn't really matter. So there's two ways you can go about doing this. You can dive in yourself and learn about it, which I really don't recommend at the beginning. What I recommend is you interview agencies that are familiar in the space. So there's a bunch of different agencies out there that specialize in PPC for real estate investors. Interview 3 or 4 of them and really ask them probing questions about their strategy, what's their average conversion rate, what's their average click-through rate, what's their average cost per deal in all different markets. Speak to a bunch of different clients that they have to see exactly what the success has been, how long they've been there for. In general, if you're someone that is new, don't necessarily recommend PPC. It can get very expensive. If you're someone that's just looking to spend $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000, I don't think PPC is really for you. You're gonna burn up a lot of money very, very fast, and I don't think you're gonna get the results. But once you're a little more established and you have the money to burn and you have the right people, first start with the agency and ultimately do what we did, which is bring somebody who's amazing in-house who handles it for us. But great way to get leads, great way to get targeted leads. The most important thing, I'll kind of drop this little gem on you, is people that click, that come through PPC are usually have a pain point and are looking to transact now. And when they go online, they're gonna reach out to 2, 3, 4 people, right? Definitely not one. Whoever's there, they're gonna email, they're gonna call, boom, 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 rapid fire. So the time between when the lead comes in and when you reach out to these people is critical. We aim to reach out to them within 5 minutes or less. So we get an email, the goal is our lead manager's gotta be on these people in 5 minutes or less. We try for 60 seconds or less, believe it or not. So that's PPC. Next one is kind of along the same lines, but different, SEO, right? So PPC is a short-term game, meaning you pay, you get instant results if you know what you're doing. SEO is the long game. You're gonna spend money for 6 to 12 months if you're doing it correctly, and you're not gonna start to get results until that point. But it is vitally, vitally important because A, it doesn't cost you any money once you've built it there. And B, you want your brand to be the brand on the first page, because statistics show that the drop off is huge from 1, 2, 3 to 4. So when you're getting into SEO, obviously you're an expert. Again, we have somebody in-house who's amazing, but before that, we work with different agencies, and the same process applies with PPC. You're interviewing people, you're gonna talk to current clients that they have, what's their conversion rate, what's the cost, what is their strategy around getting you onto that first page and ultimately into that top position. We do a tremendous amount of business from this, but it does take time. You have to be patient. If you think you're going to be at the top position in 1, 2, 3, or 4 months, you're gonna get frustrated and ultimately you end up firing the agency or not working with them. So just understand that, hey, I'm gonna commit X amount of dollars for a year. I'm gonna forget about it. I'm gonna have monthly meetings with my provider, and then let's see where we are a year down the road. Pay special attention to the website and the website design with both of these. Having a lead generation website is very different than having a website where you're selling products or just giving general information. when you have a lead generating website, you want it to be simple. You don't want it to be overloading. You want to essentially force people to a section where they're going to take action and send you their information, either call or email, so you can get them on the phone as fast as possible. Next one is CC stands for cold calling. Cold calling is a tried and true method. It works. Obviously, the motivation from someone you're cold calling is different from someone that reaches out to you for PPC or SEO. People that reach out to you are ready to go. People that are cold calling, obviously you get a lot more flakes. You're gonna get a lot more leads, but it's gonna take you way more leads to convert. But if you do cold calling right, the cost to do it isn't that high. From a ROAS standpoint, and that's return on ad spend, this is our best lead source right now. So essentially we use VAs, and the VAs are provided with data and phone numbers that we give them based on our target market, and they are out there on dialers calling every single day, all day, reaching out, and the conversion has been excellent. The key is you have to have the right people. You have to make sure that people are opting in. You have to make sure that the scripts are right, that they're following up, and ultimately it'll turn into a lot of deals. But this is an excellent way. It's tried and true, whether you're doing it yourself, whether you have VAs doing it, you're outsourcing it. Excellent way to bring in deals. Next one is SMS. A lot of people use SMS. So there's a lot of laws surrounding this. You have to just make sure you're in compliance and make sure that people opt in to receive text messages. But once people have opted in and they're giving you permission essentially to text them. Make sure that you have good scripts. Make sure you have a good platform that enables you to get to as many of these people as possible. But texting is the new thing, right? This generation, all they do is text, even older people. It's a lot less evasive. It's a lot easier to get out to as many people as possible. You can send text blasts to a group of people that have opted in that are in the tens of thousands if you have a list of people that are that big. But this works. Plus, people that have already opted in and sent you a lead via PPC or cold calling or SEO or whatever it is, you can constantly be following up and engaging with them through text messaging, and it works. Follow up is key. That is what gets the deals 96% of the time. All right. Next one is the network, right? The network drives a ton of deals. Best part about the network is it's free. Worst part about the network is it requires a lot of time, but it's worth it. At the beginning of my career, I was out at networking events 2, 3, 4 nights a week, meeting real estate agents, meeting attorneys, meeting loan officers, meeting anybody out there who could potentially send me a deal. So the good news is once you get them, just as long as you foster that relationship, whatever deals they get, they'll always send them to you. I've done a tremendous amount of business with wholesalers, hundreds of deals with just a handful of wholesalers. It doesn't take a million relationships to do a ton of deals. It just takes a few of the right ones, but the more people you know, the more deals you're gonna do. Dated but tried and true, direct mail. So believe it or not, from a volume standpoint, direct mail is our #1 lead source. Why is direct mail a #1 lead source? It's very simple. People that are selling houses are typically 55 plus, 65, 75, 85, right? In my area, it's people that are leaving New York, people that have passed away. But with direct mail, you are directly targeting people that you feel are very likely to sell their house. On top of that, the people that you're sending mail to are of a certain age demographic that grew up with direct mail. They didn't grow up with Instagram, they didn't grow up with Facebook, they didn't grow up with any of that stuff. They grew up going to the mailbox every day and actually reading the mail. So direct mail is an amazing way to target the right people and get a ton of deals. It can get expensive though, and if you're just looking to spend a few $1,000s, you're not gonna have a tremendous amount of success, in my opinion. It's a numbers game. You typically need at least 10,000 mailers to convert into one deal. So think about that. You have to be able to have the money set aside. You have to sit down and say, listen, I'm gonna spend the next 6 months or 12 months or 9 months or whatever it is, but no less than 6 months. And I'm gonna spend this money every month and I'm gonna revisit it and I'm gonna basically monitor it and check my KPIs on a month-to-month basis. But you have to be committed to the process and to spend the money. Too many people send the mailers out the first time, they'll spend $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000, they won't get any deals and they'll just stop. That's not the way it works. There are people that call us 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 months later that have had a postcard sitting on their fridge and they're finally ready to sell. The key is you have to be consistent. Next one is social. So social breaks down to 2 categories. It's organic social, which definitely works, creating content literally every day, multiple times a day, catering to certain people will absolutely work. Paid social, same thing. There are people that are excellent at this. They build audiences based around, certain target markets, towns, ages, demographic. It's difficult in the real estate world on Facebook. They flag you for a lot of stuff, but it is a very effective way to buy houses, and some people have done it very, very, very well. So if you're looking to increase the amount of leads, you don't have to come in and do all of these at once. Don't get overwhelmed. Best thing to do is to start small. Start with something like direct mail, start with something like cold calling or SMS or SEO or PPC. Start with one, have a budget, track it, see what your success is, refine the process, and once you start making money, go to the next one. And little by little, month after month, you'll finally get to the point where you can utilize most, if not all of these. Certain places, it doesn't make sense to do all these, but you'll test and test. By testing, sometimes ultimately it costs you money, but you learn. But over the years, you figure out which one of these works best for you, what are the best campaigns, what is the best creative, and once you figure out what that is, you double down on it to get the most possible deals you can in your market. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, give us a follow, and we always appreciate a comment down below.